What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets Radio. I honestly think these videos are becoming Jets therapy for me because I've been ridiculously annoyed since Sunday, and I just keep wanting to complain about this team. So I apologize for the negative stuff. I promise this will be my last one, and I'll be on to Cincinnati after this video, but I got to get this off my chest before I freak out. So today, Jets owner Woody Johnson, at the owners' meeting, decided to address the media and the state of his organization and the state of his team. And it was basically the same old stuff they've always been saying. We hired the right guys, and I think we're heading in the right direction. And I like what I see. I like their plan. I like the culture they're establishing and how they're putting players in the right positions. Seriously. And the loss was frustrating on Sunday. Frustrating. How about this? To me, honestly, I think the mindset of the ownership and the complacency of this organization and the acceptance and justification of losing has been here so long that that's all they're used to, is all they say. Like they just think Jet fans want to hear that, and you know what? We'll give them this load of shit and they'll be fine with it. And it's the complete opposite. I'd actually like to see somebody hold people accountable, understand the situation that we're in, and just expect and demand more. How about this comment? You know what? Sunday's loss was unacceptable. I understand we're a very young team, but we expect more out of this team and this staff. And as this season plays out, we hope to see that on and off the field. By the end of this season, we hope we're playing a much higher level of football. Like, how about that? Like this, it's just, I can't stand where, like, they're presenting us, a skunk and acting like it's a kangaroo. Now, I like kangaroos, but you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, your team is terrible. We've been terrible forever. Like, don't act like you've won 20 Super Bowls or you're a 10-win team year in and year out. You're coming off an abysmal Adam Gase campaign, which you guys doubled down on and hired, but that was Chris Johnson. You want to blame him. I mean, don't forget, there was a time when people didn't like Woody Johnson either. But anyway, you're coming off a time that was really bad. You're starting off terribly. Now, we've all embraced the rebuild and everything else, but don't sell us that everything is fine. Expect more. It's okay. You don't have to give a playoff mandate, but you can say, I want to see this team play a lot better. Like, frustrating isn't the word. Unacceptable. You lost by 41 points. And this reminds me of Coach Saleh going into the bye week, where he's telling us how the offensive line played good, the defensive line played good. Everything was pretty good. You were 1-4, and you had like 3 or 4 good quarters of football. To me, right now, that second half of the Titans game has been a deodorant for all the, that's like trying to cover all the problems of his team. Like, when in doubt, let's mention the Titan game. Let's not discuss the 5 losses. Let's talk about the Titan game and how Zach Wilson showed a glimmer of hope. I mean, the whole goal of this season was, you obviously want to get a whole new staff. You want to grow your team. You want to establish building blocks. Most importantly, the reason why they changed regimes, I can't even talk tonight, is the offense. Get the offense to the NFL caliber, and groom your quarterback. And after 6 weeks, or 7 weeks, it's not happening. Your quarterback is now hurt, and now you're trying to react, and you're just trying to put Band-Aids on a Titanic right now because everything is sinking. And you're trying to figure out, how can we even do this to put some kind of product on the field, because what we're seeing right now is not competitive. So does it hurt anybody in the organization to say, you know what, I expect more? Like, this isn't acceptable. Yes, we're young, the youngest team in football, and yes, we've had injuries, but so is the rest of the NFL. Look at all the teams all across the NFL. Everybody has injuries. That doesn't mean quit. That doesn't mean lay down and just not play or accept it. Like, thank you, can I have another? Like, come on, man. Like, that to me is how you change a culture. You set the expectation high and you drive everybody that way. Like, to me, like, I'm an old fan. I went through my first year as a season ticket holder was with Rich Kotite. Lucky me, right? 1995, 1996, I was a season ticket holder. So with a transition from Kotite to Parcells was the best time of my life, because Parcells he changed everything instantly. That was a culture change. That was a direction change. And I'm telling you, it was overnight, it was done. Everybody was held accountable. It was no nonsense. It was no bullshit. His way or the highway. If you didn't play well, you did things wrong, you're benched, you're out of the game. Like, do you honestly think any coach worth his weight in salt or whatever is granite would have watched this game on Sunday and not bench nobody? Nobody's cut, nothing. Like, you watch players like Greg Van Roten. That's everybody's person about to rip on Greg Van Roten. You watch Damian Woody breaks down film. He breaks down all the communication problems. Dan Orlovsky's breaking down all these things from veteran linemen. These aren't rookies making mistakes. These are older players. So why not at some point start saying, listen, you know what? I understand we're rebuilding, but we're not going to tolerate this here. We are going to change what's going on. We're not going to accept it because guess what? They accepted it last year. Even under Todd Bowles, a lot of times the guys weren't getting benched. They're sitting there like there's no fear factor here. There's no accountability and there's no credibility. The owner talks. Nobody believes a word he says. The only thing he cares about is ticket sales, selling concessions, and selling T-shirts and jerseys and everything else. He don't care about the product on the field. They haven't won shit. And they get away with it because everybody keeps buying it. They all were complacent going into this year because they knew we weren't going to be good. So you know what? The fans are going to accept losing because we're not supposed to win, and we're fine. But you know what? We're losing, but we're embarrassing ourselves at the same time. They didn't expect that. And they don't know how to handle it. So to me, I just wish everybody, from ownership to everybody down, would start acting like they're an NFL organization and demand more and expect more. If you're a 10-year veteran or you're a rookie, we have a standard here. Like Robert Saleh kept talking about the standards he wants to establish, and doesn't matter where you are on the roster, you play well, you do this, you do it. It hasn't been true. The only guy they've held accountable right now is Denzel Mims, and it makes no sense at this point. You can't unless he's just not going to meetings and he's a real pain in the ass in the back, behind the scenes. It doesn't make any sense. What player has been benched for poor performance? Nathan Shepard, dumb penalty, right back in the game. Nobody's held accountable here. You can have 3 blown tackles, doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean? To me, it's a mindset and it starts with the ownership. And again, I'm not saying playoff mandate. I just say light a fire under everybody's ass. Yes, your first year here, but you know what? As an owner, we're tired of this. So we expect things, better sooner rather than later. So again, like I said, this is my last video complaining. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk, but I had to say it because this level of complacency, and justification and accepting of losing, and it's just like trust the process down the line. We're gonna get there. We have the right guys. We've been hearing this for years. So you know what? It hasn't been working for years, and nobody, as of this moment, nobody in the organization has earned the benefit of the doubt. Not the general manager, not Chris Johnson, Woody Johnson, this coaching staff, or his players. Nobody's earned anything. You're at rock bottom. This is it. So you got to climb the ladder piece by piece, and you earn your respect and credibility along the way. You don't assume that you have it, and don't act like you have it.